Welcome back. It's me, Tracy Lene, and today is June 6th. What makes today so special for me, it is the day of my grandmother's birth in 1913. Or was it 1918? I think it was 1918. Yeah, my grandfather was 1911. My grandmother was 1918. Yes, 1918. That's the one we're going to go with. Anyway, she's no longer physically here with us, but then again, yes, she is. If you saw a picture of her and looked at me, you'd say Nanny Irene Ballou Dickerson is still here because I look just like her, and that's a compliment. And also knowing that I'm getting older, but that's a part of life, right? In a few days, I'll be 56. I would really like it if you would subscribe to my channel and like this video. And we have moved on. We did the 4 agreements, and now, as promised, the 5th agreement. And what I'm going to do with this book is I'm not going to read the acknowledgments because that's stuff he wanted to acknowledge, but we're just going to read the book. But I wanted to let you know it's going to be about 13 days because of the amount of chapters there are, and I'm going to read a chapter a day for 5 days a week, and I take the weekends off. Again, like it, subscribe if you want to, share it. But let's get into the 5th agreement. Now, we know the 4 agreements, and if we don't, I'm going to tell you again. The first one, be impeccable with your word. The second one, don't take anything personally. The third one, don't make any assumptions. The fourth one, do your best at everything. And then we have this 5th one, be skeptical, but learn to listen. Which kind of, when I first saw it years ago, I thought that kind of contradicts the other ones, being skeptical. But if I'm being skeptical, then am I taking it personal? But no, I'm just recognizing that because people do things the way they want to do them that benefits them, I need to look out for my best interest, just like they're looking out for theirs. And I don't need to make an assumption. I need to be skeptical and find out the truth in what they're saying, not in the way of I'm snooping through their things, but just to find out the truth. Now, this book right here came from Barnes & Noble because I ordered the book, and my son was ordering some things too, and I was rushing, and I put the book twice in the, save for later, and then ordered other stuff that I was ordering. And so when the book didn't come today, I was like, the book still ain't here. That's crazy. And I went to Barnes & Noble. First I went to the library. Didn't have it at the library, but I did get the next book we're going to read, which is this one, The Divine Law of Compensation by Marianne Williamson. But we're going to read that after this one. But anyway, so I went to the library to get it. It didn't have it at the library. I Googled it. Said Walmart had it. Went there. I wasn't paying attention. Walmart had the 4th agreement. So then I went to Barnes & Noble. And I was on the phone with one of my really, really close friends. And I was like, I don't feel like spending $14 on this book. I got it at, on Amazon coming tomorrow for $8. And so she says, well, I said, but I'm supposed to start reading today. And so she says, well, if you don't get it today, then aren't you breaking that first agreement to be impeccable with your word? And as she was saying that, I was pulling the book off the shelf and walking up to the front to the cashier because I am impeccable with my word. So I had to get this book. And when the other one comes, I'm probably going to gift it to someone. Anywho, let's get started. Part 1. The power of symbols. And remember, this ain't audible. I'm going to stop and add my 2 cents as I so please. In the beginning, it is all in the program. From the moment you are born, you deliver a message to the world. What is the message? The message is that you, that child, it's the presence of an angel, a messenger from the infinite in the human body. Let's read that again. The message is you, that child. It is the presence of an angel, a messenger from the infinite in a human body. The infinite, a total power, creates a program just for you. And everything you need to be what you are is in that program. You are born, you grow up, you mate, you grow old, and in the end, you return to the infinite. Every cell in your body is a universe of its own. It is intelligent, it is complete, and it is programmed to be whatever it is. You are programmed to be you, whatever you are, and it makes no difference to the program what your mind thinks you are. The program is not in the thinking mind. It is in the body, in what we call the DNA. And in the beginning, you instinctively follow its wisdom. As a very young child, you know what you like and what you don't like, and when you like it and when you don't. You follow what you like and you try to avoid what you don't like. You follow your instincts, and those instincts guide you to be happy, to enjoy life, to play, to love, to fulfill your needs. Then what happens? Parents. Your body begins to develop, your mind begins to mature, and you begin to use symbols to deliver your message. It's just as the birds understand the birds and the cats understand the cats, the humans understand the humans through symbology. If you were born on an island and then lived in if you were born on an island and then lived all alone, it might take you 10 years, but you would give a name to everything that you see, and you would use that language to communicate a message, even if it was only to yourself. Why would you do this? Well, it's easy to understand, and it's not because humans are so intelligent. It is because we are programmed to create a language, to invent an entire symbology for ourselves. As you know, all around the world, humans speak and write in thousands of different languages. Humans have invented all kinds of symbols to communicate, not only with other humans, but more importantly with ourselves. The symbols can be sounds that we speak, motions that we make, or handwriting and signs that are graphic in nature. There are symbols for objects, ideas, music, and mathematics, but the introduction of sounds is the very step, which means we learn to use symbols to speak. The humans who come before us already have names for everything that exists, and they teach us the meaning of sounds. They call this a table. They call that a chair. They also have names for things that only exist in our imagination, like mermaids and unicorns. Who says mermaids and unicorns aren't real? Just because you ain't seen one doesn't mean it ain't real. Every word that we learn is a symbol for something real or imagined, and there are thousands of words to learn. If we observe children who are 1 to 4 years old, we can see the effort that they make trying to learn an entire symbology. I have 2 grandchildren, so I'm seeing this in action, and it's really amazing watching my 4-year-old grandson, who's much more advanced than my 2-year-old, explain to us what his brother is saying. We're going, what do you want? I don't understand that. And he'll go, he wants the iPad, or he wants the French fries. And he's right. He knows what he's saying. Or does he want the iPad and French fries? And his little brother's going, I want iPad. I want French fries. That's not true, because there will be times when Amari will say something that's not, and Amir go, no, Spider-Man. He likes to watch Spider-Man. Okay, where are we at? Okay, when we observe children who are 1 to 4 years old, we can see the effort they make trying to learn an entire symbology. It is a big effort that we usually don't remember because our mind is not yet mature, but with repetition and practice, we finally learn to speak. Once we learn to speak, the humans who take care of us teach us what they know, which means they program us with knowledge, which means if your mom and daddy don't know shit, you ain't gonna know shit until you learn shit on your own. Let's just keep it real. Have you been around people whose parents don't know a whole lot and they little and you like, what is he talking about? It is what it is till they go to school. The humans we live with have lots of knowledge, including all the social, religious, and moral rules of their culture. You're raised in your parents' religion. So you'll say, well, you know, I am a Christian, or I'm a Muslim, or I'm a Jew. It's because your parents are that, and they tell you that's what you are. Until you get to be an adult, you may choose something else, and then sometimes they kick you out their tribe because you choose something else. But you still should choose what you want to choose, because this is your life, your existence. Your parents, I have 4 children that came through me. Well, 6 came through me. 4 are still on this side. 2 were stillbirths, and they have new homes now. I know they do. But the 4 that came through me that I'm blessed to still be here with, they don't belong to me. They belong to themselves and the creator that created them. They hook our attention, pass on the information, and teach us to be like them. We learn how to be a man or a woman according to the society in which we were born. That's why when you have all of this Muslim and Jewish fighting, you're like, well, all y'all are doing is fighting because you were raised by different parents, and your parents say you're Jewish and your parents say you're Muslim, and so now y'all fighting each other over what your parents said y'all are, and your parents are doing what their parents said, and we're just making a whole big mess. Just a big mess. We learn how to behave the right way in our society, which means how to be a good human. What I'm seeing now, I teach middle school, I'm seeing now that the parents are deciding to let the children raise themselves while they party, enjoying them and being raised. And that's not good either. I'm not judging. I'm not Judge Judy, but I am reporting what I'm seeing, where children, I see lots of parents who dress the child the way they wish they could dress, but they can't fit them clothes because their hips look like mine, their thighs look like mine, and the clothes is not for our hips and thighs, but they are for your little 7-year-old, so you're going to put it on her. Make it make sense. And it's not smart to do that. And then say, he shouldn't be looking at her anyway. He's a pedophile. Yeah, he is a pedophile. So let's not help him with his pedophilia or her pedophilia. In truth, we are domesticated the same way that a dog, a cat, or an animal is domesticated, through a system of punishment and reward. We are told that we are a good boy or a good girl when we do what the grown-ups want us to do. We are a bad boy or a bad girl when we don't do what they want us to do. Sometimes we are punished without being bad, and sometimes we are rewarded without being good. Out of fear of being punished and fear of not getting a reward, we start trying to please other people. We try to be good because bad people don't receive rewards, they are punished. I see this in my grandchildren. If my oldest grandson, he's really good at coloring in the lines. He's really good. So we praised him so much for it. Now he's overboard with it. See, look, they call me Aura. He came up with his own. No, look, Aura, look at this. And I think it's great. And I tell him every single time how great it is. But I'm recognizing that now he's just wanting the praise. He's a praise junkie, just like the rest of us. We're praise junkies. You want somebody to say, oh, you're so magnificent and so wonderful. Because if they say the opposite, you get mad. I remember Robert De Niro being in an interview many years ago when I lived in New York, and the acting coach that taught Robert De Niro, I was fortunate enough to have her as my acting coach. She was very expensive. So I had her as my acting coach, and anywho, she played for us a clip of Robert De Niro saying something that another actor had said a while ago, where he doesn't, the good things people say about him, he don't pay no attention to, because then he'd have to listen to the bad things. So he just don't listen to either one of them. He lets how he feels about the character be what it means. And if people don't like it, he doesn't care, because he's being the character, not the people that are watching the character. Okay. Where was that? In human domestication, all the rules and values of our family and society are imposed upon us. We don't have the opportunity to choose our beliefs. We are told what to believe and what not to believe. The people we live with tell us their opinions, what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong, what is beautiful and what is ugly. Just like a computer, all that information is downloaded into our heads. We are innocent. We believe what our parents and other grown-ups tell us. We agree, and the information is stored in our memory. And then we start defending that shit to the hilt, whatever your parents tell you. I grew up believing in Santa Claus. So if somebody told me Santa Claus wasn't real, I said Santa Claus is real. Because my mama said he was real. My daddy said he was real. Actually, my daddy did not say he was real. He just didn't go against my mama. But when I found out about Santa Claus, and my dad said to my mama, I told you I didn't want no fat white man getting the credit for all I had done. But he did not say it to me. I was 11. My sister was, I think I told y'all the story before. And my sister was, my sister's 5 years younger than me. And she's the one who told me there was no Santa Claus because we don't have a chimney. And I said, it doesn't matter. He come to the front door. He has a key. She said, so mommy and daddy giving keys to strangers? They're irresponsible parents. I said, but it's Santa Claus. Anywho, but I believed that. And you couldn't tell me there wasn't a Santa Claus because my mother and father said it. And I believed what they said until that point. Then I started saying, these jokers is lying and telling me not to lie. Where was I at? Everything we learn goes into our mind by agreement, and it stays in our mind by agreement. But it first goes through the attention. The attention is very important in humans because it is the part of the mind that makes it possible for us to concentrate on a single object or thought out of a whole range of possibilities. Through the attention, information from the outside is conveyed to the inside and vice versa. The attention is the channel we use to send and receive messages from human to human. It is like a bridge from one mind to another mind. We open the bridge with sound, signs, symbols, touch, with any event that hooks the attention. This is how we teach, and this is how we learn. We cannot teach anything if we don't have someone's attention. We cannot learn anything if we don't pay attention. Ask me how I know. I teach middle school. They don't pay attention. They ain't learning. And then they'll go, Ms. Becker, what you said? I didn't hear you. No, you weren't listening to me, which is the same thing. One of the students said, but that's the same thing. Whether or not, she's so sassy. I said, she told me to repeat it. I said, you weren't listening. She said, I didn't hear you. And I forgot how she said it. But anyway, she just said, it's the same thing. And I'm like, okay. I think I said, You're not listening to me. You're not paying attention. She said, I didn't hear you, which is the same thing. I wasn't paying attention or something like that. I don't know. She's so sass mouth. But anyway, I remember thinking, anyway, using the attention, the grown-ups teach us how to create an entire reality in our mind with the use of symbols. After they teach us symbology by sound, the grown-ups drill us with our ABCs and we learn the same language. You know how we say the ABC song. I know for me, I sometimes have to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G to find where a letter goes when I'm doing something and trying to do it alphabetical order, but graphically. Our imagination begins to develop, our curiosity grows stronger, and we start to ask questions. We ask, and we keep asking questions. We gather information from everywhere. And we know that we finally master the language when we're able to use the symbols to talk to ourselves in our head. This is when we learn to think. Before that, we don't think. We mimic sounds and use symbols to communicate. But life is simple before we attach any meaning or emotion to the symbols. Once we give meaning to the symbols, we begin to use them to try to make sense of everything that happens in our lives. We use the symbols to think about things that are real and to think about things that aren't real, but that we start to imagine are real, like beautiful and ugly, skinny and fat, smart and stupid. And if you notice, we can only think in a language that we master. For many years, I spoke only Spanish, and it took a long time for me to master enough symbols in English to think in English. I see that because I teach at a school that's 60% Hispanic, English is a second language. And what I do notice is when they're struggling with understanding me, I see them trying to think, but they get caught in the thought because they don't really know what I'm saying. They can't think it in Spanish, so they just kind of look perplexed for a minute. And then there are those who speak very good English and try to trick me. And I know it because I say something else and I catch their attention. I'm like, you understood that though? Mm-hmm. I use my phone and Google Translate a lot because I like to be able to communicate and make them feel just as important as the other students because they are just as important. To master a language is not easy, but at a certain point, we find ourselves thinking with the symbols we learn. By the time we go to school, when we are 5 or 6 years old, we understand the meaning of abstract concepts like right and wrong, winner and loser, perfect and imperfect. And boy, do we get mad when somebody calls us a loser. Lord Jesus, we take that stuff to heart, especially in middle school. They take it to heart. Perfect and imperfect. In school, we continue to learn how to read and write the symbols we already know, and the written language makes it possible for us to accumulate more knowledge. We continue to give meaning to more and more symbols, and thinking becomes not only effortless, but automatic, like driving. I've been driving since I was 16, I'll be 56. Oh my God, I've been driving for 40 years. I can drive with my eyes closed. Okay, not really with my eyes closed, but I can drive so well because I've been driving so long. Now the symbols that we learned are hooking our attention all by themselves. It is what we know that is talking to us, and we are listening to what our knowledge says. I call it the voice of knowledge because knowledge is talking in our head. I like that. Knowledge is talking in your head. Many times we hear the voice with different tonalities. We hear the voice of our mother, our father, our brothers and sisters, and the voice never stops talking. The voice isn't real. It's our creation. But we believe that it's real because we give life through the power of our faith, which means we believe without a doubt that the voice is telling us. This is when the opinions of the humans around us start taking over our mind. And I have to catch myself because in middle school, I love that I teach middle schoolers and I'm good at it. And so they listen to me and they'll say, Miss Beckwith, I was doing something and I heard your voice telling me you don't need to do that. Or I heard you saying stop eating Takis in the morning. And when they say that, I know what they're saying is their self-accusing spirit is telling them don't need to eat Takis at 6:30 in the morning. But they're hearing it in my voice because I'm the one that says it to them. Stop coming in my class with them stinky Takis and it's not even real food. And it's 6:30 in the morning and that's why you can't concentrate because you're eating Takis at 6:30 in the morning drinking Coca-Cola. Did your mama give you that? Did your mama know you got that this morning? And by the time I finish all of that, and sometimes I have to stop saying your mama because some people don't have their parents. And so when I'm saying that, I could be triggering them. So now I just say, well, sometimes I still say mama. But if I know they don't have a parent, I go, does your guardian know you have that? Or does your uncle or whoever I know is in charge of them? You shouldn't be eating them in the morning. And so then they say in the morning, I hear your voice telling me not to eat that. And that's because they've decided that what I'm saying matters. My opinion, it is. But it's just not an opinion. You shouldn't eat Takis ever. But if you do, don't eat them in the morning. When you first wake up in the morning, you should have a glass of room temperature water by your bed. Drink that. I drink 16 ounces every morning before. As soon as I wake up, I say, here, cheers to you, a new day, Lord. And some other stuff I say. And I drink that all the way down. I take it to the head, all the way back. And then at night, I do the same thing. I know I have to get up and pee all night, but I don't care. I do go to the bathroom with my eyes closed. I don't even open my eyes to do that. I know the step to the bathroom, back and forth, because you drink that water at night. That's why my skin looks like this. This and Fenty. Yeah, Fenty. What was I at? Everybody has an opinion of us, and they tell us what we are. As very young children, we don't know what we are. The only way we can see ourselves is through a mirror, and the other people act as that mirror. Our mothers tell us what we are, and we believe her. Yes, we do. Even if it ain't the best, we believe her. And we spend 50 years trying to undo believing what she said, because she said it, because that's what she believed about herself. Anyhow, it is completely different from what our Father tells us. Yeah, and then there's some people who don't have a father telling them anything. And that's sad too. But you'll be okay. Or what our brothers and sisters tell us. But we agree with them too. Oh yes, or your cousins. Because cousins, man, my cousins, I have really close cousins. And each of us, like the reason why I have to wear glasses now, because my cousin that's exactly 3 months older than me, we were like best of friends. But she had to wear glasses when she was young. And I would call her a four-eyed dog. But she used to call me a fat dog. She was like, you shut up, fat dog. Say, you shut up, you four-eyed dog. I'm laughing because it's so mean. But that's how we communicated. But let somebody else call me a fat dog or call her a four-eyed dog, and it was on. Well, on her side, because she could really fight. She used to have to fight for me. I did have to fight for myself before, but she used to fight for me because I had a lot of mouth, and I didn't like to hit. But if you hit me, I was going to hit you. But anywho, yeah, we insulted each other a lot. So that's that part. And so I grew up, even when I looked like I was smoking crack every day, I was like, oh, I'm just so fat. I need to lose some weight. No, I just had that image of my cousin saying, shut up, fat dog. But we would add the dog part to it. And you may say, oh my God, your family was so toxic. Yes, your family toxic too. Okay, we all come from toxic families. And I was talking to my really good friend. I'm Generation X. So not only are we toxic, you telling us we toxic, we get even more toxic when we were younger. Now we realize, no, you guys, no, we're not that toxic. I'm the last generation that it was okay to tell somebody, get back in the closet. We don't want to see you gay. Get on back in the closet. Generation X is the last generation that could say that. This is Pride Month. Happy, whoever you are and whatever you are, you know. But I am just letting you know, I am from the generation where we looked at you funny and said, you can get on back in the closet with that. I don't care what you do now. That's your business. All right. People tell us how we look, and it's especially true when we are little children. Look, you have the eyes of your mother, the nose of your grandfather. Yeah, they used to say that I had my mother's nose, and my cousin used to say it was like a Rudolph. I'm gonna go turn to the side so you can see my nose. See my nose? So my nose kind of turns up at the end. So my cousin used to say I had a Christmas nose, and he wanted to hang ornaments on my nose. And so I grew up not liking my nose because he picked on my nose. His nose takes up half his face, but he talked about my nose all the time. We listen to the opinions of our family, our teachers, and the big children at school. We see our images in those mirrors. We agree that this is what we are. As soon as we agree, that opinion becomes a part of our belief system. I grew up, middle school was hell for me. I believed I was ugly, I was too dark, I was too fat, I was too black, which is the same as too dark. But I believed those things. I talked too much. I wasn't smart in math. I believed all of those things. And that was a lot of energy wasted on hating myself. But I'm a Generation X girl. We bounced back, but that was there. It was real. It was really real. Little by little, all of these opinions modify our behavior, and in our mind, we form an image of ourselves according to what other people say we are. I'm beautiful. I'm not so beautiful. I'm smart. I'm not so smart. I'm a winner. I'm a loser. I'm good at this. I'm bad at that. I remember there was this young girl. I'm not going to say her name, but she was really fair-skinned, and she had a lot of red bumps all over her face. and I heard a grown ass man say, that's a whole lot of yellow going to waste. I remember it because I saw how it made her feel, and it hurt my heart to hear this grown ass man at his big age say that to a child. And after that, she became very promiscuous. Not the same day, but she became very, very, very promiscuous and ended up having her first child at 15 and then one at 16. And I'm not making this up. So I didn't stop because somebody that's watching this gonna know who I'm talking about. And they may not know about that embarrassing moment. And I don't want to embarrass her any further. I haven't seen her since high school. But I remember him saying that and how it made me feel. And I told y'all about the guy at Howard that said, damn, you fine to be so dark. And I said, damn, you ignorant to be in college. That's what I said. Those were my exact. I said, damn, and you real ignorant to be in college. He said, I just gave you a compliment. I said, you didn't give me a compliment. You know, he said, stop trying to act like dark-skinned women is pretty. I'm not acting. They can be. Complexion is not what pretty is, just pretty. Whether you're really, really fair or really, really dark, pretty is pretty, and pretty is subjective. At a certain point, all the opinions of our parents and teachers, religion, and society make us believe that we need to be a certain way in order to be accepted. They tell us the way we should be, the way we should look, the way we should behave. We need to be this way, or we shouldn't be that way. And because it's not okay for us to be who we are, we start pretending to be who we are not. The fear of being rejected becomes the fear of not being good enough. And we start searching for something that we call perfection. In our search, we form an image of perfection, the way we wish to be. But we know that we are not, and we begin to judge ourselves for that. We don't like ourselves, and we tell ourselves, look how silly you look. Look how ugly you are. Look how fat or short or weak or stupid you are. This is when the drama begins, because now the symbols are going against us. We don't even notice that we've learned to use the symbols to reject ourselves. Before domestication, we don't care what we are or what we look like. Our tendency is to explore and express our creativity, to seek pleasure and to avoid pain. As little children, we are wild and free. We run around naked without any self-consciousness or self-judgment. We speak the truth because we live in the truth. Our attention is in the moment. We are not afraid of the future or ashamed of the past. I remember when my middle son was younger, and I just had a stillborn. And he said, Mommy, you're fat. I mean, you're not that fat. You're a little bit fat. But you're not this fat. You're a little bit fat. Because he wanted to tell me that I was fat. But he said, you're a little bit fat. You're not that fat. And I said, well, that's because Mommy just lost your brother. And he said, oh, yeah, so you have to be fat? And I said, well, when you have babies, and I'm explaining to him. He said, oh, okay. He didn't grasp it, but I just thought it was funny because children are very honest. He was like, you a little bit fat. We continue to grow, and in our adolescence, our body is programmed to introduce a substance we call hormones. That's middle school. Our physical body is no longer a child's, and we don't fit in with the way of life we lived before, and our arms smell like garlic, stanky onions and garlic out in the field. Ask me how I know. I teach middle school. Just nothing but funky underarms all day long. From the time they get off the bus to the time. One day I was sitting in class and I said, let me tell y'all something right now. If y'all don't all go home and take a shower, when you come back tomorrow, I promise you, I am going to slap every last one of you and call your parents and tell them why I slapped you, because you're hurting my nose. Now, is that what we don't stink? Yes, you do. And it's hormones, but you got to take more showers. We don't want to hear our parents tell us what to do and what not to do, like take a bath. One of my sons used to go in the bathroom, turn the water on, be in there for 30 minutes with the water on, and never let a drop of water touch him. So one day he comes out and I look at his washcloth and it's dry. I said, your washcloth is dry, so you ain't been in that tub. Huh? And he just smashed, you just stink. And I threw him in the tub. I'm a Generation X mother. I put the water on and threw his ass in the tub and scrubbed him down mad the whole time. Why I was mad, I don't know. It just didn't take a bath. And I like killed somebody because I was scrubbing him down. He was crying and I'm scrubbing because I was mad because he was stinky. Yes, I'm a Generation X parent. Our physical bodies know, okay, we want our freedom. We want to be ourselves, but we also are afraid to be ourselves, be by ourselves. People tell us you're not a child anymore, but we're not an adult either. That's middle school. And I tell them that. I'm like, I know you're no longer a child, so we don't treat you like the cute little thing because you're not cute anymore. You're going through puberty and the ugly stick has smacked you in the face. But guess what? The ugly stick, while it's smacking you in the face, it's changing you all around. You're going to be gorgeous again. I'm a Generation X. That's the way we talk. I tell them they're going to be beautiful. But right now, and anywho, so I tell them, and you're not an adult. So we treat you. It's hard to know how to treat you, and you're difficult to deal with right now because you think you know everything when you know absolutely nothing. You act like I need you to help me learn how to tie my shoes because I don't know anything according to you. So it's difficult. It's a really difficult time. So that's when the most love and compassion, but firm love and compassion is needed. At least that's what I believe. And I don't let them bully. I don't let them bully nobody at all. If somebody bullies somebody, I bully them. Now you may say, oh my God, you're a teacher. You shouldn't do that. Well, don't send your child to my class bullying other students because I am going to say something to them that's going to hurt their feelings the same way they hurt the other child's feelings because I'm from Generation X and that's what we do. It is a difficult time for most humans. By the time we are teenagers, we don't need anyone to domesticate us. We have learned to judge ourselves, punish ourselves, and reward ourselves according to the same belief system we were given, and using the same system of punishment and reward. The domestication may be easier for people in some places in the world and harder for people in other places. But in general, none of us has a chance of escaping the domestication. None of us. You're going to be domesticated. Wherever you are, you say, oh, my parents let me be a free spirit. But then what you do is you look at what free spirits do and you do exactly what they say free spirits do. That's still domestication. Finally, the body matures and everything changes again. We start searching once again, but now more and more, what we are searching for is ourself. We are searching for love because we have learned to believe that love is somewhere outside of us. We are searching for justice because there's no justice in the belief system we were taught. We were searching for truth because we only believe in the knowledge we have stored in our minds. And of course, we're still searching for perfection because we now agree with the rest of the humans that nobody's perfect. So we're like, if nobody's perfect, I'll be the first perfect one. And then everybody's going to worship me because I'm the first perfect one. That's that ego. Anywho, I'm done with chapter 1. Tomorrow we'll start with chapter 2, Symbols and Agreements, the Art of Humans. I am so grateful that you took 33 minutes out of your busy schedule to listen to me. Maybe you listened while you were cleaning. Maybe you listened while you were driving somewhere far. Maybe you just sat and did like this. Whatever you did, I greatly appreciate all 74 of you because you're amazing. I'll be back tomorrow. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. And remember, today, we are impeccable with our word. We're not taking anything personal. We're not making any assumptions. And we're doing our best at everything. And then, eventually, we're going to learn this. Be skeptical, but learn to listen. In the meantime, first, I want to thank the Divine Mother for my grandmother, Nanny Irene Ballou Dickerson, who I'm here because of her, because she had birth, gave birth to my mommy, and she let my mommy have me. So, not let, like, you know what I mean. My mom was young, and my grandmother was there for her, and I'm grateful for her. She's just amazing. So, happy born day to her. It's also a new moon, so it's new energy. I'm just thankful. I really am thankful. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe. Bye, guys.